matter 22 PR36 in the estate of Harold Bechtel. Appearances here today, we have appearing in person, John Bechtel, Rhonda Dahlgren, Lori Carnell. We also, those appear in person. We have appearing by video conferencing, Lori Carnell and Sherry Smith, along with counsel Wade Pittman. We're set today in this matter on a hearing request or a motion filed by Mr. Bechtel. He is requesting that the court review the duties and reviewing the actions of the personal representative, Ms. Smith. Mr. Bechtel, I have reviewed your letter and your information, but for the record, you have the floor, and so you can make your statements on the record at this time.
I'm requesting the removal of Sherry Smith as personal representative due to her lack of all prudent and responsible actions.
Okay, so we're going to need to have some testimony with that. And so if you're going to provide your own, be a witness for yourself, if Ms. Dahlgren is going to do so as well. I'm not sure who all would be making statements or not making statements, who will be testifying. But so I'm going to have Ms. Smith and Ms. Carnell, as well as both of you. Please raise your right hands. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God?
I do.
I do.
All right. So, Mr. Bechtel, this is your case, so you may call your first witness, which could include yourself.
Yeah, I call myself. I want to remove on she has not been truthful or impartial to anyone. She did not provide inventory of my father's possessions or assets to anybody, failed to give accounting or liquidation of items or expenditures. Her or lawyer can't even tell me what is in the trust. For example, life insurance policies, stocks, bonds, safety deposit boxes, etc. She refused to sell me or Rhonda, anything. She didn't ask us, especially the guns. We offered to buy the guns, and no, she apparently shipped them all back to Missouri by some means. She never even got an appraisal on the property. I don't even know if she even got my father a headstone. Did she even pay the guardian ad litem? Is there any accountability for what she's supposedly sold? I've never received anything.
So all I'm hearing is a bunch of questions.
Yes, I've got questions.
So you don't have, yeah, I hear that you have a lot of questions, but I don't hear that you have any, that you have any personal knowledge that things have been done incorrectly or fraudulently, or that she's violated anything. You're just saying that you haven't been provided certain information, or you're wondering what she's doing. That's
yes.
What I'm hearing.
Yes, I would like to know that for sure. Her actions in front of us, I mean, she brought her mother up here with her to go through my father's things. He's been divorced from her for 50 plus years. I mean, what kind of actions are those?
Okay, so
yeah, and the 5-hour sale.
To say you can't talk to him. You're not testifying. He's testifying. You'll get a chance to say whatever you want to. Okay.
Okay.
Sorry, Your Honor.
Okay. So
yes. Her estate's 5-hour estate sale that she had was a complete joke. Nothing was pulled out of the garage. People, you couldn't even see what she was trying to sell. Nothing was priced. And then she picked up and left everything set out, garage open, unsecured. She loaded up, I don't know how many items in her vehicle, along with the other heirs, which, you know, a lot of things were personal effects, which really didn't bother me. But
Okay.
that in itself was a disgrace.
All right, so those are your issues.
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay. Mr. Pittman, do you have questions for Mr. Bechtel?
Thank you, Your Honor. So, Mr. Bechtel, you understand I represent the estate and not necessarily the personal representative, correct?
No, I wasn't, by what you've stated in the past.
Have there been emails back and forth between me and you in the past?
Yes, sir, there has.
And so you're saying that I have not.
And first you stated.
Let him stop. Let him talk.
Sorry.
And then you talk, and he'll ask, and you answer.
Are you living at your dad's property right now?
No, Mr. Pittman, I'm not.
And have you, in the past, have you put up a sign that said that and refused access to the property to real estate agents?
No, sir.
When did you vacate the property?
What was it?
Again.
Friday, Mr. Pittman. But this past Friday.
Okay, I'm gonna ask you to zip it one more time, okay? Otherwise you have to sit outside. You're not here testifying.
I didn't say anything.
There's some lady speaking. Some ladies answering questions, and I'm hearing under breath. Mr. Bechtel, you just vacated this past Friday?
Yes, Your Honor.
Okay, this past Friday, Mr. Pittman.
Thank you. That's great to hear. You don't have any real personal knowledge of anything that Miss Smith has done. You don't believe that she's stolen anything from the estate?
Only from what my father has told me and other family members.
Well, your father's dead, right? So he can't speak unless he's speaking from the grave, right?
Sorry, Your Honor. Just from family members, Mr. Pittman.
And
Nothing personal that I saw besides at the sale, which was hers to take anyway.
Sorry, I misunderstood the answer. So do you believe that she has stolen anything from the estate since your dad has passed and since she has been appointed as personal representative?
No, Mr. Pittman.
Are there still valuables at your dad's your deceased dad's residence?
Yes, sir.
Are they actually of any value?
Yes, sir.
And is Miss Smith able to go up there and sell anything that's still there with value?
Absolutely.
Do you still have access to the property? Do you still have a key?
I do, sir.
But you are not planning on moving back into the property?
I am not, no.
Or your spouse?
No, sir.
Why an extension was taken on the inventory?
Not exactly. The only inventory that I received was the one that me and my wife presented you, sent you copies of.
Did you make any offer to Ms. Smith or my office to purchase the property?
No, sir. Yeah. I thought that's what me and you were trying to do. And
Do you understand? Did you make a written offer to Ms. Smith or my office about purchasing the property?
no, Mr. Pittman, because I wasn't aware of what it was even worth. It's
That's all I have, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. Ms. Smith, do you have any particular questions for Mr. Bechtel?
No.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Bechtel, after being questioned by Mr. Pittman, do you have any other evidence or testimony you want to provide to the court?
I think I've provided everything I've had to you, Your Honor.
So I can understand exactly in a list form, what do you question? I know you said the GAL fees, the estate sale, the inventory. What other things other than those three?
Just the accountability of what she has done thus far.
So what do you mean by accountability?
What she sold everything for, what she sold my father's vehicles for, all his property that was sold at the estate. What was it?
So
What
you're
was its
looking
value?
for a list or a ledger or something of that with this was sold for
I
this
am.
price?
Yes, Your Honor. And I've asked for it and I have not received anything.
All right. Mr. Pittman, based upon my questioning of Mr. Bechtel, do you have additional questions?
No, Your Honor.
Okay, thank you. Mr. Bechtel, would you like to have anyone else provide testimony here today, such as Ms. Dahlgren?
Yes, Your Honor, if she wants to.
All right, you can ask Ms. Dahlgren questions. This is your motion, so you have to ask her questions.
Mrs. Dahlgren, how were you treated when you asked to purchase the guns from Sherry?
When we arrived at the house, my son and I, my oldest son, we actually weren't even greeted. We sort of went out and were roaming through the garage looking for personal things that were my mother's. And after we took out some personal things and loaded some things in the car, my son gave Sherry some money for a couple things that weren't personal items. And then I proceeded to ask about the guns. My stepdad had many guns and rifles, and she said that her attorney told her that she couldn't sell them. She had to take them back to Missouri, and they were already gone. And my son offered her $5,000 cash in hand to give her. And she said, no, they're not here. They're on their way to Missouri.
How many guns, what are we talking about?
My knowledge, I think it's like 17.
Oh, guns are crazy.
Well, some of them were antiques and had been in the family for years.
So, okay, Mr. Bechtel, do you have additional questions for Ms. Dahlgren?
How did the property look? Did I maintain and preserve the property that you saw? Did you see any, was I neglecting the property whatsoever?
No, actually, the property looked the best I had seen it in years, even when my mom was alive. So.
I don't know what else to ask, Your Honor. I have no further questions.
Thank you. Ms. Dahlgren, I have a couple. Is there any other property other than the guns that you have issue with or you are concerned about?
Well, yes, because first of all, not everybody in the trust was informed that this sale was happening. There was no transparency, and there were vehicles. I mean, it's hard to know what was sold because we don't have a list of things. Vehicles, lawnmowers, there was all kinds of things sold prior to the start of the sale. And I mean, the garage is so packed with items, it's hard to really know what's in there.
Why? Because he threw the shit out.
Okay, I need to clarify, I guess, to make sure that we have your name correctly. It's Dahlgren?
Yeah, that's my maiden name. My name now is Dahlbeck, D-A-L-B-E-C.
Okay. And I thought I heard that you are a stepchild?
Yep.
And are you in the trust
Yes,
then? But
I am.
not, but you wouldn't be an heir under the, or are you an heir as well under the will? Okay. Because I was looking at the proof of heirship and I don't see her listed. But this is the children, so. Okay. All right. Thank you. Mr. Pittman, do you have questions for Ms. Dahlbeck?
Just briefly, Your Honor. Ms. Dahlbeck, did you break into the house after your stepdad had passed away?
I did not.
And
Okay, you two, that must be who I'm hearing. Ms. Smith, Ms. Carnell, stop. I don't want to hear I don't want to hear any whispering, nothing. Okay, Mr. Pittman.
Thank you, Your Honor. And you did not take a copy of the trust out of the house?
Yes, I did.
How did you?
But breaking into the house, I did not. Harold was my stepdad. I've had keys for that house for years. My mom used to live there.
Oh,
so
okay.
When you say breaking in, no.
Okay, forgive me. So after your stepdad passed away, you entered into the house?
Yep.
After you knew he had passed away?
Yes.
So you weren't just checking on his status, whether he was healthy or anything like that?
I asked and answered in multiple ways. She went in, he was dead. She went in the house, had a key, walked in. She said it.
Well, Your Honor, I'm trying to establish that she did it. She knowingly went into the house after he passed away, and we do not know what was taken.
Well, then, that was very much proven by your questions. He passed away. She went in. Unless you want to say, was anyone else with you?
My son, my older son was with me. Yeah.
There's one other person with her. Did you take anything other than the trust?
No.
No. Next question.
Thank you, Your Honor. Yeah.
All right. Ms. Smith, are you done, Mr. Pittman?
Yeah, I'm done. There's no questions.
Ms. Smith, do you have questions for Ms. Dahlbeck?
Yes, I would like my sister to answer Ms. Dahlbeck, please.
Like her to answer what?
About her not breaking in and taking things.
She said she didn't. She used a key. She went in.
She admitted on the phone to like all of us.
I didn't ask you, Miss Carnell.
Yep.
Not you.
She's been, police recorded that she did break in on Chief Will Trout.
I mean, is that a question? You
No,
can ask
that's
her,
the
hey,
answer.
Ms. Dahlbeck, did the police, were they notified?
No, what, why would
Are you
they-
aware of a police report when
No.
you went into the home?
No,
How many times did you enter the home after Mr. Bechtel was passed away?
well, I've been
Under
there
oath.
since,
You're under
but
oath.
I went in once, like the day after, to bring some of his things to the house from the assisted living place he was in. I brought back furniture. And his children didn't even know he was dead. And the reason I went to the house was so I could get phone numbers and notify them, because they did not know, and he was going to be buried without them knowing that he had died.
How long after he passed away did that occur?
It was, boy, I think he died on a Sunday. I went to the house on a Tuesday because the funeral was planned and prepared, and he was being buried on a Thursday.
All right. Thank you. Additional questions, Ms. Smith?
No.
Any other witnesses, Mr. Bechtel?
No, Your Honor.
You want to call Ms. Smith as a witness? And be an adverse witness, and you can call her and ask her questions? This is your time because you have questions.
Yes, yes. Can I ask Ms. Smith questions?
Yes.
Ms. Smith, do you still have my father's guns? Or have you liquidated them?
I sold them and put the money into the estate account.
Okay, and do you have accounting?
I do have proof of signed documents, yes.
And bank statements?
I
And,
have it all.
and are you willing to offer them to the rest of the beneficiaries?
Anybody that wants to see them can have them.
Why have I not received anything from you or your lawyer on any questions I've asked in the past
You've never asked me.
about the property? You've told me you would sell me the property.
I can't tell you that.
I'm going to stop you two
Okay.
right now. Bicker, 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 bicker. This is to ask questions and answer, questions and answer, questions and answer. And then I get to decide, okay, what's really going on here?
Okay.
Because I'm hearing a lot of fighting. Okay. I'm hearing a lot of discord.
Sorry, Your Honor.
So what I heard is, my last question that I heard you ask was, do you have any accounting, any documents as it relates to, he was referring to the guns, but Ms. Smith, I'm going to ask you, do you have a proper accounting of all of the property that you have had and that you've sold, and you show that you've sold it and for what amount?
I sure do. I do.
And Mr. Bechtel was asking, why didn't he get a copy of that as an error?
I did not know he wanted any.
Did Mr. Bechtel ever reach out to you and ask for copies of anything, Ms. Smith? You are under oath.
No.
At no time did Mr. Bechtel reach out to you and ask for anything related to the estate.
No.
All right, thank you. You may continue with questioning, Mr. Bechtel.
I did not personally ask her because.
I don't need you to testify. I need you to ask her questions.
Okay. Did you not tell me that you would do everything in your power to sell me the property? Giving
Yes.
once the liquidation was done?
Yes, I told you you have to turn in a bid, and you have not turned a bid in yet on it.
Has there been an appraisal on the property?
No, we can't let any real estates in there when you were there because you put a big sign up that the house was not for sale. I sent 2 real estate agents over there.
Well, snooze.
I have a picture of it on my phone of the sign that you said it's not for sale, house is not for sale.
Okay. How do we freeze this? I wasn't aware that I had to be out of the house for you to sell the property.
I called you in April, May, or March, April, and May and discussed it with you about you moving out.
And when you called him to try and discuss him moving out, Miss Smith, at that time, Mr. Bechtel didn't ask you for anything related to documentation?
No.
Have you ever received any letters from Mr. Bechtel regarding any of his concerns?
Yes, 2 of them, or one about the hearing and another one.
Do you have an idea of when you received those letters?
I think before July 4th, something like that.
But when I asked you if Mr. Bechtel has ever requested anything from you at any time, numerous times you said no. Why did you say no if he did?
I wasn't thinking about that letter.
Yeah, that's weird because I'm looking at it right now. It's pretty clear. I want this, I want that, I want the other. Why aren't you doing anything? Essentially what he's saying.
Yes.
Additional questions, Mr. Bechtel?
Did you purchase a headstone for my father?
Did I what?
Did
Yes.
you?
Headstone, yes.
And did you ask any of the other beneficiaries for any help picking out a headstone?
I asked you and your wife when I was up there to come and join us at the funeral home at 11 o'clock that Thursday morning. And we even waited, me and the lady that was running the funeral home, we waited for about 20 minutes and you all never showed up. I did reach out to you. And yes, the other siblings did know what headstone was picked out.
Did you let Rhonda Dahlbeck or Larry Borg, did you notify them or keep them informed of any of your doings?
No, they haven't been stepchildren since 2016.
Okay.
That's when their mother passed away. Our father had moved on in another relationship.
That's pretty cruel, Miss Smith. I don't think you understand life, Miss Smith. Anything else, Mr. Bechtel?
No, Your Honor, I think hopefully the court is.
Mr. Bechtel, how long was your father married to Miss Dahlbeck's mother?
I believe they married in 95 and she passed in 2015, if I'm correct, Your Honor.
Ooh. Ouch, Miss Smith. Hope you're not a stepmother, because that's I hope somebody isn't a step parent of any of your children. It's cruel.
I didn't mean it to be cruel.
Well, then you're just cold. Mr. Bechtel, anything further?
No, Your Honor.
Mr. Pittman, I'm going to turn it over to you now. Do you have any witnesses or do you want to present anything to the court?
I think just some brief questions to Ms. Smith.
All right. Oh, that's right. I was too taken aback by her previous testimony that I forgot that you get to ask her some questions too.
May I proceed? Your Honor?
Yes, you may.
Ms. Smith, have you attempted to have a real estate agent go to your deceased father's house?
Yes, to real estate agents.
And what happened?
They saw that big sign out front that said that the house was not for sale, and they just took some pictures.
Why wasn't
What agents were they, Ms. Smith?
I have them on my phone.
You may briefly look at your phone, and once you recall and your memory is refreshed, you may put your phone back down.
Okay. Ben Wheeler.
Okay. All right. Thank you. Mr. Pittman, you may ask additional questions.
Thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Smith, do you know why an extension was taken on the inventory, on the filing of the inventory?
Yes, because there's still things to take care of.
And is there one major piece of property that needs to be sold?
Yes, there is an old hot rod that's in the garage and the house and the property.
And again, you have not been able to get a professional out to the property to put a value on the real estate?
No.
Do you understand that in the inventory there's an accounting of all the property of your deceased father on based upon the date of his death?
Yes.
And you're prepared to file that once a value can be put onto the real estate?
Yes.
Do you understand that you have duties back to the estate as a personal representative?
Yes.
And you understand you have fiduciary duty back to the estate?
Yes.
And do you understand what that means?
Yes.
At least generally, as a non-lawyer. Do you believe that you've handled this estate appropriately and tried your best to sell all of your first gather and then sell all of your dad's property for as much money as you possibly could?
Yes, I do.
Once the real estate is sold or transferred, do you understand that you have to distribute the funds pursuant to the will?
Yes.
Do you foresee any problems with being able to do that?
No.
That's all I have, Your Honor.
All right. Thank you. Any other witnesses, Mr. Pittman, or anyone you would like to call?
No, Your Honor.
Ms. Smith, would you like to provide additional testimony for the court, or would you like to call any witnesses?
You have to ask me a question.
No.
Okay, thank you. All right, Mr. Bechtel, any further argument or information for the court? No, Mr. Pittman, anything, any argument or anything further from you?
Briefly, Your Honor, thank you. You know, again, I think there's always a little bit of gray area of when a lawyer is involved for the estate. You know, their duties are really back towards the estate, not to the personal representative. although they're basically hired by the personal representative to handle the estate and certain parts of the estate.
Well, I don't know if you're telling me the law or if you're trying to explain it to Mr. Bechtel.
Well, I'm just making an argument at this point in time. I don't, I handle quite a few estates. I don't believe anything that Ms. Smith has done here has been improper. Maybe a few, as you stated, Your Honor, cold words today, but nothing really improper. There's been no facts that support any type of improper behavior by her. There's been no facts to support that she has stolen or abused her authority as personal representative. The only potential thing was the extension of the inventory, and as she testified, the inventory has not been able to be completed because we can't get a proper value on the home at this point in time. And it's typically our office's position that we'll take an extension on that instead of attempting to put an unknown value on a piece of real estate and then having to amend the inventory at a later time once we get a proper value. She has stated that she has kept records of everything. She's been informed that records should be kept very diligently in this case due to some of the hard feelings between the family members here. And although I don't have a complete accounting of that, she has again testified that that does exist. I don't believe that she has intentionally withheld any information. Maybe she misunderstood what Mr. Bechtel's requests were, but again, I believe she'd be happy to send over the accounting at any point in time in the bank statements. There is an estate account open. She again has, from our perspective or from my perspective, has actually acted appropriately in a pretty contentious matter where, you know, there's family maybe not hard feelings, but there's hurt feelings kind of across the board here. And I believe she has acted impartially and has actually done a decent job at getting the property sold. If there's additional property of value, she still has the opportunity now to go back up to Wisconsin and sell any remaining property, but really was kind of limited as Mr. Bechtel had been residing in the property, which really kind of hampered our abilities to get this estate moving quicker.
Thank you. Any further statement from you, Ms. Smith?
No.
All right, a couple things. There are hard feelings, Mr. Pittman. I can take a knife and cut the tension right through the air. There are hard feelings, there's animosity, there's frustration, there's anger, there's sadness, there's depression. I can tell you all of the things that I see between all of these people. I don't know what happened. I don't know if you got along while the parents were alive. I don't know if you didn't. I don't know if something happened. I don't know if it was the death of Ms. Dahlbeck's mother. I don't know if it was then the death of Mr. Bechtel. But I'm going to tell you that there is so much tension. And I'm going to tell you that both Harold and your mother are looking down and they are so disappointed. They are so disappointed in all of it. And it's sad because a 20-year marriage of two people joining together, I'm going to tell you, it wasn't a 1-year marriage. It wasn't a 2-year marriage. This was a 20-year union, and they didn't get married the first day that they saw each other. There was a lot of love and a lot of connection between a lot of people. Family isn't necessarily blood. Family is love, and family is respect, and family are people coming together in times like this. I'm going to tell you, deaths and inventories and estates and property and all of this causes a lot of people who may once have gotten along not anymore and to be at each other's throats. And it's so disappointing. but I understand, and it's my job to hear it, and it's my job to determine if there have been any violations or if anything needs to be addressed and to be cured and to be fixed. Mr. Pittman, I do understand that you have made the statement, and I'm seeing, well, I'm not seeing because I don't have anything in front of me, but I'm just hearing the testimony and determining credibility. I understand that your argument is that she has acted impartially throughout this. I don't necessarily think that it's completely impartial because of all of this tension. I can't believe that this occurred, that the tension started during the estate. There had to have been something that had occurred prior to. But whether or not she's acting completely impartial as an unbiased person, I'm going to tell you, I don't think that that's accurate or that's true, because there is animosity and there's got to be some kind of, I mean, looking out for the Sherry Smith side of the estate more so than the other side. Not to say that she violated the law or her duties, Mr. Bechtel, because the law says that I have to look at whether or not she violated any of her legal duties. And her duties would include things such as collecting all the income, the rent, managing the estate, maintaining the property, collecting the property, selling the property, paying the taxes, doing those things, having an accounting. And that's what she has been ordered by the court to do or appointed to do. I understand that you haven't received anything, and I don't necessarily believe Miss Smith when she tells me that she didn't receive anything from you, anything prior to that letter before July 4th. Because I'm going to tell you, Mr. Bechtel, you've been very vocal this whole time. And you've been vocal with the court. So I can't believe that at no time since Ms. Smith was appointed as personal representative that you did not contact Ms. Smith in one way, shape, or form to address these issues. I believe that you did.
Thank you, Your Honor.
But at the same time, I have to look at those duties that I appointed her to do and whether or not she did anything to violate that. I'm seeing that nothing was really done and nothing was shared with the heirs and the beneficiaries of both the trust as well as the estates. But the law doesn't say that that is necessarily a violation that would then make me remove her as personal representative. So what I am going to do is this. But first, Mr. Bechtel, to some degree and to some extent, Ms. Smith and Mr. Pittman are accurate. A proper appraisal or proper market analysis or something could not have been done with you there without there being cooperation between Ms. Smith and you. And I'm not saying that you were disruptive or Ms. Smith was disruptive and you were both being contentious and saying, no, this isn't going to happen. But there has to be cooperation between both. And you just vacated the property this past Friday. This is the first opportunity that Ms. Smith is going to be able to come in and have somebody do a proper either appraisal or a market analysis of this property. And I know that you provided two before, I think from Edina and I can't remember wherever, attached to one of your letters, Edina and ERA or something like that. But that's Ms. Smith's job as personal representative to ensure that that's done and that's done properly. And now that can occur because you have now vacated the property. I'm going to tell you that if this tension continues and I don't see more cooperation on Ms. Smith's end, and I don't get what I'm going to order right now by the deadline and by the time I say, I will remove Ms. Smith because she's not listening to the court and to the court's order and to the direction. I I have signed the order to extend the inventory to be filed until October 3rd. I will not, absolutely will not extend that any further unless there is additional proof that the court needs to do so. But the proof would involve a draft inventory anyway, Mr. Pittman. It takes just as long to amend inventory and file with the court than it does to file a motion to extend to file the inventory. So by October 3rd, I expect to have a draft inventory filed with the court. I expect to have the bank statements for the estate going back from date of opening of that account all the way to present. I'm expecting to have, and not expecting, I am ordering to have a list or a ledger of all of the estate's property, when it was sold, and for what amount. I can't order a personal representative, allow any heirs or any other individual to purchase property. That's a personal representative's choice. They can offer it for sale to the heirs and to beneficiaries, or they can sell it to the public. But in particular, as it relates to the guns, I expect to have as well by October 3rd, copies of those affidavits of sale of those guns. And I want the make, the model, the year of what each of those guns were, and an appraised value or an expected fair market value at the time of sale, because I'm going to tell you, I may not know a lot about guns, but I know a lot about numbers, and I know a lot about fair market value, and I expect to see that those guns were legitimately sold and that money was placed into the estate at a fair market value for the worth of those guns, because I believe Ms. Dahlbeck that she says there were approximately 17 guns. Some were very valuable. They were antiques. If I'm seeing any notion that these guns were sold at $2,000 when they were worth $5,000, that is not only a violation of the duties and responsibilities of a personal representative, that is fraud. So I expect all of those things filed with me by October 3rd, 2023. I expect there to be some type of appraisal or fair market value report done on this hot rod and on this house and the property by that date as well. It can't be sold by that date, but I expect all of that filed with this court by October 3rd, 2023, and copies to be provided to each of the heirs and beneficiaries. Because if Ms. Smith kept diligent records of all of her activity and all of the property and all of the values that she sold the property for, it should be fairly easy for that to all be accomplished and filed with the court. So that is the court's order, and that will stand. I will wait until I get those documents so I can personally review them, and then the heirs and the beneficiaries can review them, and we will see where we go. But I want to have another hearing because I'm going to want to be able to address what I've received and what I believe I am still missing. And for the record, a court should not have to oversee or watch to make sure that a personal representative is doing what they need to do or communicating with the estate and the heirs and the beneficiary. They're supposed to just do it, and the attorney's supposed to ensure that that gets done. October 10th at 3 o'clock, can you have a hearing by Zoom, Mr. Pittman?
1 second. (10:10) at 3 o'clock does work for my office.
All right, October 10th, 3 o'clock, we will have a status hearing, and the court will provide a statement as to what I've received and what I still need to receive, and if it complies with my order.
Yeah.
Thank you.
If I may, are you going to draft an order?
No, you are.
Thank you. That's what I wanted to know. And so can I I need to make sure I got my notes right then. 10/3 deadline for at least a draft inventory. No extensions. Bank statements from date of opening the estate account to current, and you want those to be put on file.
Correct. And I want a list or a ledger of all of the estate's properties, when it was sold and for what value, and in particular, all of those specifics as it relates to the guns.
Year, make, model of guns, I believe they were all appraised before sale, so that should not be a problem. Date of sale, property, value of property sold, fair market of value analysis or some type of appraisal done on the home and the hot rod, and copies to all the heirs and all the interested parties prior to 10/3/23.
Correct. And once I get the draft, that complies at least enough with this court. On October 10th, I will determine whether or not I need to provide an extension to you, Mr. Pittman, so that you may continue to do your job thoroughly and properly, and to make sure that we do have a correct and updated inventory.
Yeah, I don't see a problem with that, Your Honor. The only concern would be if there's still like a secondary estate sale that needs to be conducted. That would probably be the biggest issue. I don't think there'll be too much of an issue getting a value on the hot rod in the home relatively quickly from one source or another. And I believe other than the house and the hot rod, which is really the purpose of the extension of the inventory, the rest of the stuff should be, I agree, very, very simple for us to provide. Do you want us to wait until 10/3 to file the bank statements to have them basically current, or just pick a date and just kind
As of today, it's fine, because that's going to show what's been done from date of death until today, because
Yep.
that's the issues and the problems that Mr. Bechtel is having. He doesn't
Yep.
know what's happened.
I agree. Just want to make sure that we are complying with what you want, Your Honor.
All right,